Blunt Talk with LT, episode 24. This episode is brought to you by StatGwop.com. StatGwop.com/shop. All right. We back in it. Blunt Talk with a blunt. It's always good to have a blunt talk in its purest essence, purest form with the blunt. It interferes with the audio. These episodes generally suck for the audio listeners. Sorry. Where are we starting? What is with these ums? We starting with Big Gucci Soulja. I think I want to start with Big Gucci Soulja. I think Soulja Boy needs to change his name. I think he definitely needs to go with Big Gucci Soulja or Big Soulja or something. He needs to change it up. Soulja Boy, he ain't a boy anymore. Just the same way I thought Lil Bow Wow should take Lil out of his name and just be Bow Wow. At some point, you gotta evolve. Like, Wayne can't just be Lil Wayne forever. Can't be 40-year-old man being Lil Wayne or being Lil something. I think at some point you evolve and people know who you are. And when you erase that first part of your name and people just know you as Wayne, you say Wayne and all of a sudden you're just a one word name, a first name, or like Soulja. If he gets rid of Soulja Boy and he's just Soulja, everyone knows him as Soulja. But I think Big Soulja or Big Gucci Soulja is better. Okay, so Soulja Boy's back. And Soulja Boy's back on his old shit. That shit he did before. He was basically the first Tekashi 6ix9ine before Tekashi 6ix9ine with that internet trolling and that fuck shit. Because before Soulja Boy went away for a while, remember when he was on that shit? He was posting all those videos on those rants on that blood shit up in other niggas' hoods. When he had beef with Migos and Chris Brown and all sorts of shit. He came back dissing Tyga. I don't know why he's dissing Tyga, to be honest. I think it's because he was a comeback artist of the year or some shit. And Soulja wants that recognition, but I didn't hear any Soulja Boy music this year. I seen him do reality shows and get a couple of deals for like things that made him money, but that doesn't count towards your hip hop catalog for when it comes to awards. It's good to see Soulja Boy back. He gotta fucking change his name though. Gotta refine. He needs to rebrand. He needs to change that shit. Academics going back and forth with Soulja Boy, calling Soulja Boy a fraud, calling Soulja Boy this, that, and that. My whole thing is academics is like certain people, like academics and Safari, and people that basically acknowledge that they're not about that life and they're not hard and they're not gangsters and they're not, they'll tell the police and I don't know if Safari said that, but academics back then used to say he's pussy and he'll call the cops and this and that. But as his clout started to grow, hate that term, as his fame started to rise and as his platform got bigger and as he was more on Complex, he basically changed up the swag now. He got security or some shit and now all of a sudden he wants to talk greasy to everybody. Soulja Boy is wanting to fight all these rappers again. I know that's just some pub shit, some publicity stunt shit. That's some shit he was on before. That's why he's reverting to that. I don't think Soulja Boy wants to fight anybody randomly. I think Soulja Boy's just coming back and trying to, promote his music. So that's why he's doing that Tekashi 6ix9ine style promoting. Well, I can't really call it his style because Soulja Boy did that shit first. Yeah. I don't think anybody cares about Soulja Boy and Academics beef because nobody's gonna get touched in that beef. There's no diss records gonna be made out of that beef that anyone has anything to look forward to. So I don't think that beef's worth any time. Can't even call that a beef, an issue, a minor issue. I think that's just some bullshit that they're just doing back and forth because they know it gets. Sometimes you just go back and forth because you know the fans are watching and the audience is watching, and you just want to get some traction and some buzz and something going on because there's not anything really going on. And you could just use that moment, really and truly. Like, let's be real. A lot of these entertainers don't want to be real with what they're doing. We all know what we're doing. It's like there's no real emotions invested, or no one really cares. It's not real beef. Like, that's why when I was saying that, and I put up a clip on the Blunt Talk with LT page. It's uploading clips now of the episodes. So I put up a clip and got a lot of backlash, a lot of haters, probably because of the title. And I was saying something about Bone Thugs doesn't want problems with Migos, but I wasn't saying they don't want problems like they're pussy and they don't want beef. What I was saying in the video, if anyone fucking listened to the video instead of just, seeing the fucking title and running with the title, what I was simply saying was they don't care. Like, the man had a musket in the crib because he doesn't care. You think that's the only strap the nigga has in his crib? Like, it was just some shit where it's like, okay, don't forget about us, nigga. We put in work. That's all it was. Niggas don't, like, Bone Thugs, when they want to go find niggas, they're going to find niggas. They're not really going to, they're not really looking after me, looking at, like, I think there was a diss track released. Fuck, I should have paid more attention to that so I could really get a grasp on the situation. But no one really cares like that. Like, no one really cares like that. I'm not saying that they don't want it with them lyrically. I'm not saying they wouldn't want it with them in the street, because if there was real problems, they will definitely be about it, and they'll definitely be going at Migos. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think no one really actually cares. It's just like, okay, let's make some bread. Let's get some interest, Let's make some headlines. That's all I see it as. I don't know. If you're smoking blunts and you're not smoking a backwood, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, nigga. Smoking Phillies and Centuries and all that shit. Niggas smoke blunt wraps and shit. That shit is mad unhealthy. Even heard like those, what do you call them shits? The hemp wraps. I ain't fucking with the hemp wraps either, man. Them shits make me feel sick. Backwoods or nothing. Facts though. All right, so let me go through my topics I got here. Which one's the quickest that I can get through? French Montana. Okay, so French Montana, he got Donkey of the Day a couple days ago, and he was like, basically, the most damning thing he said about the whole R. Kelly thing, because they asked him about R. Kelly when he was clearly drunk and coming out of a club or some shit. And he said, who cares about all that? Whatever happened, happened. And when he said that, it's just like, nigga, what the fuck? It's like, you slipping out here. You can't be saying shit like that. Not in this climate. Trying to cancel everybody for no reason. But not just being canceled. It's just like the way you look. You don't want to make yourself look like you're one of those guys that you're on the condoning side of this type of sexual activity and mistreating of women. Everyone's like trying so hard to stand in the clear and not be painted as that one of those guys. But at the end of the day, you don't have to try if you're not one of those guys. Your actions speak louder than your words, and at the end of the day, your track record speaks louder. You're not gonna have girls jumping out of the woodworks if you're not one of those guys. It's just as simple as that. But French Montana slipped. He put a statement out on Instagram or Twitter, but no one really sees the retractment of the statement, so no one really cares. But it didn't blow up too much in his face. It's not like the biggest thing in the world, like what they did with the Kevin Hart and the Oscar situation. That shit is still blowing out of proportion. He was on the Breakfast Club recently, and they're still asking him about that shit. And it's like, I feel like, though, the problem with the world right now is whenever there's an outrage issue, people generally lack common sense, or they let the trolls on Twitter control the conversation in the way where people think that's the popular opinion, when it's really not. It's just some idiots on Twitter that allow these stupid narratives and this stupid outrage to grow when no one really actually cares. And especially when the outrage is a bunch of teens, it's just like, nigga, you don't even know life yet. Shut your stupid ass up. So it's like, but if people are getting canceled for the R. Kelly type of shit and the Harvey Weinstein type of shit, then definitely cancel them niggas. Because then it's not like, okay, they're just common sense in these type of situations. Like, you felt like at the end of the day, like, I'm tired of dealing with some of these situations and these people having to speak so perfectly on the radio or any interview they're in, just so people can fully understand their point and articulate it, like, you know, specifically perfectly, so they know, okay, I am perfect, I'm on this side of the fence. Like, no, there's just common sense in certain things, you know. Like, it's black and white. You know R. Kelly's a dirtbag. You know he's said multiple times that he's interested in teenage women, and he tries to act like there's a threshold of, okay, it's okay if it's above this certain age of teenage. No, nigga, it's teenage. What's wrong with you? Like, it's teens. What, like, what's wrong with this nigga? He's definitely wrong. That nigga definitely needs to be prosecuted or something. They need to take that nigga away. But at the end of the day, people cannot get mad at motherfuckers for wanting to retain the music, because the music is for public consumption. We just need to take away his publishing, because you don't want to support him. That's the thing. You might still want the music, but you don't want to support the man. So take away his publishing, or make sure, or we got to see what his deal is, because who knows if he even owns his publishing. His label could finesse the whole situation and own all the publishing. So people could be making a big deal out of no for nothing, because his sales just went up. And it's like, obviously it's gone up because people want to dig into the tracks and see what the fuck the dirt shit he was saying, because of the docuseries outlining the nasty mind states and the places he was when he was making these records. So it's like, that's why the sales went up. But we got to dig into that publishing, because you don't want to be supporting the band, but you want to find a way to finesse the publishing. As the public, we can't really do anything. I'm saying this like we have power over anything, but these lawsuits need to come out. Like, these girls need to start pressing some charges, or I don't know what I still never watched the docuseries. That's why I'm slipping so hard, and I should not be talking about this. So let me just get off of R. Kelly. I don't even know how I started talking about R. Kelly. That shit was supposed to be about French Montana, not condemning R. Kelly hard enough and sounding like he was condoning him by saying whatever happened, but that's not what the case was. He was just drunk and acting stupid. All right, so other music news. This is pretty much a music episode. I'm not touching on sports because I recently relaunched a podcast, but I put it on a different podcast now, so the uploads aren't coming through the Blunt Talk with LT stream. It has its own separate thing. It's being processed right now. The Ball Talk Daily sports talk show, bringing it back. No video, just audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that shit. Bringing that shit back. It's going to have its own separate thing. I'll hit you with the link when I got it up. Probably next episode, I'll fully blow the shit up and show y'all what the fuck it is. So y'all can subscribe to that, as well as subscribe to Stat Gwop's YouTube page, and subscribe to, Blunt Talk with LT on all those, platforms I just mentioned. Because, need to get these subscriber counts up, man. Do I got to start my fucking YouTube videos with, hi, guys, subscribe to my page and all that bullshit? Nah, nigga. Y'all need to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, that bell button. Make sure you guys are getting updated with these videos. All right, back to it. Slim Jimmy leaves Ray Shremmerd. Slim Jimmy leaves to go solo. Slim Jimmy leaves Ray Shremmerd to go solo. Not Slim Jimmy's putting out a solo album. He leaves the group to put out a solo. Like, what does that mean? So he's done with Sway Lee. Slim Jimmy thinks that we want to listen to Slim Jimmy by himself. Like, one track maybe, but a whole record without Sway Lee. Sway Lee's the group. To me, Sway Lee's the main character. Like, I don't know what a Slim Jimmy song would sound like without Sway Lee. He does all the hooks. He does all the bridges. He's like the sync. Like, I don't understand. Like, where do we go from here? I'm personally somewhat interested to see what it sounds like, but am I interested in actually bumping the project? Am I having high expectations for it? Not at all. I'm not having no expectations for this shit. But whatever. I don't know what happened with these niggas. I don't know what happened if there's a fallout. There was this fight on TMZ that he had in was it New Zealand or some shit. I don't know what's going on with Slim Jimmy, but man wants to do his own thing. Shrem, they perform, like, they do big ass stadiums and festivals and worldwide tours, and they have groupies, and their brand is huge. They're kind of, for some reason, I feel like they're low key right now and a little underrated, but they've been out here putting out projects, and their last album was good. Joe Budden put it on the underperforming, or he thought it was underwhelming. I thought that album was good. I don't know. I'm interested in a Sway Lee solo project, but I don't know. We'll see about that. We'll see what comes out first and what these motherfuckers do with that. All right, so let me get to this. Because Joe Budden, on the Joe Budden podcast, went in on Vlad for disrespecting Eazy-E's family. With that, he put up an Instagram post saying wear a condom. It was an RIP post to Eazy-E, but it was like a wear a condom, AIDS kills, yada, yada, yada type ass post. And his family was mad because he's interviewed 9 members of the family or affiliates to Eazy-E on Vlad TV, and they all conspire that he was not killed by AIDS. They thought it was something else. They think it's something else. To this day, they think it's something else. They think something happened. They think it's some sort of conspiracy. And he went out and posted that shit publicly after hearing those accounts from all 9 members, all of them firmly believing he did not die from AIDS and perpetuating that message. So that is very disrespectful because they don't get paid to come on Vlad's platform. I watch Vlad TV. I'm not Joe Budden. Joe Budden hates Vlad. I fucks with Vlad, although he has culture vulture-ish type of things, whatever. I fucks with Vlad TV. I ain't gonna front and lie and act like I don't watch Vlad TV. That shit was foul, though. Like, why would you say R.I.P. and then shit on his whole... that's shitting on his whole family while saying R.I.P. because they have one stance. Let them live with that stance. Don't be perpetuating another narrative when they don't want that to be the narrative. They don't want that to be the story. So you got to respect their wishes. I don't feel like it's ever anything. It's not necessary ever. It's not recommended to disrespect or say anything negative about the dead. It's just you should leave it alone. Less words is better. Say less, fam. Vlad. Fucking up. Niggas is always mad at Vlad for something. Always mad at Vlad for something. But this one, fully justified. Niggas fucking up. And Joe Budden said something interesting. He said the viewership, not the viewership, the platform itself of Vlad TV has been taking a decline, and he's been noticing that, and it brings him satisfaction. I didn't think it was taking decline. I thought the subscribers were doing well. I'm thinking the views are doing well because they kind of are. But I see what Joe Budden is talking about because you don't see a bevy of young artists flooding through the same way you did probably a year ago, a year and a half ago. Kind of see Lord Jamar there a lot, and the same type of people kind of recycled, a lot of old heads. So I think he maybe think it's not a place where they're breaking young artists, and I don't know. It's been a pretty dead first quarter of the year for hip hop, to be completely honest. Not much going on, so it's not like he's not covering shit. It's like Adam 22's been covering like the new artists and shit, but there hasn't been much that he's been covering. It's like Blueface and who else? Not much going on right now. It's not like a couple years ago not even a couple years ago, like last year when Tekashi was out. Last year seemed like there was always some fuck shit going on when Tekashi was out. Tekashi went in the bin, Soulja Boy popped back up, but it's not the same impact. It's not the same shit. He hasn't done any fuck shit like he did before, so it's not the same. He just did one video dissing Tyga, dissing academics. Not a big enough staple yet. All right, so we got Dame Dash versus 50 and Funk Flex. Funk Flex loves to jump out the window. He always wants to go on an epic rant and yell on niggas and do stuff. I never heard the rant. I never heard him jump out the window, but he jumped out the window again. 50 said a few things saying it was a sucker move what Dame did. What Dame did, see, Dame's a real ass nigga, but Dame, I said something about it too. Well, actually, I don't think I commented about it on air yet, but whatever. What he did was kind of out of his character, that whole laughing and insinuating, but I don't know. Maybe there's some inside joke shit, because at the end of the day, he signed her. Jay-Z signed Foxy when she was underage, is what he was trying to imply. But what is signing a young artist? That's nothing. It's not like he was fucking her when he signed her, unless that's what he was insinuating. But it's like, you didn't need to do that. That's probably why 50 said it was a sucker move, and everyone said it was out of pocket for Dame, or it was out of his character. I don't have much to say about that, to be completely honest. I don't really know what was going on there. He said a lot of more important things in that interview other than that small, part of his insinuating and laughing and yucking it up with Nick Cannon. Little out of character, but whatever. We can move on. I don't think the culture's going to hold that against Dame. I think everyone knows Dame is Dame. All right. Said I ain't going to talk about sports because I launched the other podcast, so we ain't going to do sports. So I noticed something that's really good for me. They might think it's something negative, but I think it's positive, because when I was putting out music and I was doing thousands of views, tens of thousands of views on my music videos and shit, a lot of haters came. And before, when I wasn't making a dent and I had no traction, there was no haters. Just the supporters, just the inner circle people, just the people that, generally support your uploads until you breach a certain wall, and then you see people that just don't want to see you expand, and then the haters come. And then sometimes it's the people that have been following you the whole time, and they see that your audience is getting bigger, and they're like, okay, let me start faking a profile and hating. But when you have haters, that's when you know you're actually doing something. So, yeah, that's good for me. Definitely good for me. I look at that and I see haters. I'm like, yep, back on track. After a long period of time, back on fucking track. Let's get this wave going. Blunt Talk with LT is actually making a dent. The subscribers and the downloads and everything is way up every month. The YouTube views are up. The Blunt Talk with LT page with the clips is popping. I'm about to rebrand in a couple of episodes just to revamp it, because I noticed a lot of podcasts this year. Everyone's stepping into the new year with different backgrounds, different themes, different everything, different segments to the podcast. Everybody's been kind of switching it up, and not to follow, suit, but at the end of the day, you don't want to get left in the dust doing the same shit. And I've been wanting to upgrade and do a couple of shit, and I've been progressively upgrading and doing shit as I've been going. So definitely going to be more consistent with the new segments that I introduce, because there'll be times where I'll introduce a segment and I won't do it again. You won't see it for another 3 episodes, like the ones gotta goes and them type of things. So yeah, get some guests up in here too. The rebrand's gonna be nuts. All right, Blunt Talk with LT, episode 24. Make sure you subscribe to Blunt Talk with LT on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you consume podcasts. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. and share one of these motherfucking videos. If you're feeling a video and you fucks with it, or you see one of these clips and you fucks with it, share it on your fucking page, because it goes a far way. It goes a far way. This is a platform where it's my platform completely, my business. I can say what the fuck I want. Whenever I have guests and the guests come in, it's a free space of saying, or free space. It's a free space of free speech where you can say what the fuck you want, and it's not compromised by any marketing dollars. There's no incentives from companies which makes you wanna, not stray away from certain things. It's like, got to keep these type of shows going, because people want to be mad at certain opinions when I put out certain opinions on different shows, because I've been having a bunch of, bubble kind of celebrity type of people getting mad and hitting me up on Twitter and shit at some of the shit I've been saying. But it's like, hey, this is just truth. It's just an honest opinion. And the things that I say, a lot of people are saying, but they're not commenting on YouTube, because they're not the type of people to comment. And they're just thinking it, but no one gets to say it. So this is the type of platform where you hear the type of thoughts and you're like, yeah, I was thinking that shit too. So that's what the fuck it is. I'm in the show. StackGwop.com. StackGwop.com/shop.